Yes.
Yes,
D'accord.
Divya.
Commencez. Okay. So today's lesson, we are going to talk about sounds, pronunciations in French, right? Alors, répétez avec moi. A,
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 E,
A,
I,
E,
O,
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 U.
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 Yes. So this is A, as in when you say in English, father. So you produce the A sound over here. It's that same sound. A, right? So likewise, you have a La.
Divya, could you just please give me a minute? Someone is knocking my door. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
I'll be.
Yeah, sure. It's okay. Yeah. So this one is A, okay? And so likewise, this becomes La, okay? Now here you have A. Now notice that this is not exactly A, it's not U, it's somewhere in the middle. It comes as A. Can you try saying that, Mayu?
Okay. L and A, right?
No, just this. This is A.
Okay.
Say that.
A.
Yes. So the pronunciation of therefore this is L. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is E.
E.
E. And it is never I in French. It's never the sound of I in French. Par exemple, when you say this arrive, it's arrive. Because I told you
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
back, Divya.
okay. This is A and this is E. Therefore, this becomes arrive. You're not going to say arrive, it's arrive. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now further, you have the sound of O, which is quite the same. This is low.
Low.
Yeah. Then you have, yes, low. Now this one is la. This is le. This is li. This is lo. Répétez. La,
La,
le,
li, lo,
L.
li,
li,
lo.
lo.
Low.
Yeah. So this one is a lo. Okay. Now this is pronounced as you. Okay.
U.
So yeah, in English you have you, but in French it's slightly more twisted. You. And
U.
hence this
U.
is lu. Lu.
Lu.
Yes.
Lu.
Lu.
Yes. Okay. So la, le, li, lo, lu. Now what should be this?
Ma.
Ma.
Mo.
Ma.
Mo.
M,
Ma.
m. This is
Mi.
Me.
then
Mo.
Mo.
and
Mew.
Mew.
mu. Okay. Then
Na.
Na.
okay.
Na.
No.
No. Then
Ni.
Ni.
ni. Okay. Then
No.
No.
then
Mew.
Mew.
nu. That's right. Okay. Then you have
Ta.
Ta.
then
T.
This is T or T.
the. In French, you do not have the t sound. There's no t sound. And like in English, you have like a tomato.
Mm.
In French, it's only the soft sound, as in the, as in the word tabla.
Ta.
Okay.
Ta.
Okay.
Yeah. So ta. Then there is
Ta.
the. Then
Divya,
T.
the second one we should say tha or thu like this. How we
the.
should say
I never sound this as oo.
thu.
I never sound this as oo. It's a.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Tha.
this is the. Yes. The.
Okay.
Then
T.
E.
then
To.
To.
to. Then
Tiu.
Tu.
okay. Then you have
Ba.
Ba.
then
Ba.
B.
Ba.
bo, then
B.
B.
b, then
O.
Bo.
bo, and then
Bu.
Bu.
bu. That's right. Okay, fine. So these are basically going to act as the sounds of a, e, o, u. combined with any consonant, right? Further to this, you have the sound of H, the H mute, French sound of H, which is silent. French does not have the sound of H. So, likewise, I have told you that this is O, this is O. This should be, okay, this should be pronounced as, yes, okay, and yeah, okay, fine. So this is going to be pronounced as okay, which is the word for man, okay. It's not hum because I already told you H is going to be silent in French, okay. Further, you have this alphabet. It is called Y. Repete, Y.
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 Now, Y is the name of the alphabet, but the sound is E.
Okay. E. Just E.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Y is just the name of it. The name of an alphabet and its sound are two different things. This is Y, its name, and E is its sound. E as in long. This was also long E. This was also E, and this is also E. So you have this word here. This is the sound of E. How should you pronounce this?
Stilo.
That's right. Stilo. Stilo. That's a pen. Pen in French is called stylo, right?
Stilo.
Yeah. Now, till here, if anyone has a question, please ask me. Seems fine?
Oh, no, yeah, fine.
Okay. Okay, now I'm coming on to the sounds. You know, in French, if there are like groups of alphabets, two alphabets together or three, okay, generally they are pronounced in a particular way. So, like you all know at this point, that French pronunciations are entirely different if you compare it with the English ones. So, you need to know these proper syllables, okay? There are going to be 16 such groups, okay? And we're going to study them today. So you have the O sound, O, as in when you have EAU, if you have AU or if you have AUX, it's going to be sounded as O.
Oh.
So likewise, these three should be what? How should be these three pronounced?
Low.
That's right. Even though it looks like liu, low, and locks, you have to switch off your English pronunciation brain while you're studying French, when you're speaking French. Okay, so this is not a liu, low, locks. It's low. All of the three are pronounced as low. Likewise, these should be pronounced as
Mo.
mo, and then these should be pronounced as
No.
okay. Then these three
To.
to, and the last
Bo.
bo. These are just for the sake of sound. These are not words, they are just for the sake of sound. I'm going to give you some words over here. You're going to sound them. For example, let's just say, how do you pronounce this word?
Bureau.
Bureau.
Oh, now notice that in English also you have this word. This basically is a word from the French origin. There are about 47% of the English words that we use today are of a French origin. Okay, so you can see that this sound we discussed just a while ago, this is U, and hence this becomes bu. And then you have R ke saath combined EAU, which becomes ro, bureau. Bureau, which is word for office or desk. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have another word which I can give you with this sound.
Divya,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. In the first session, I mean, could you go back to that previous slide?
Just a minute. This here?
Yeah, the topmost, like you were teaching the AEIOU, right?
Yeah,
Or
this one.
okay, this E also we should pronunciate when we are talking together, or are we just saying low like that we are saying? Don't we pronunciate this E in this
No, no, no,
bottom
no,
section
no,
like
no,
this?
no, 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 no. These are when they are individual alphabets like
Okay.
this. But then these are groups. When they are groups of an alphabet, they are not individually pronounced. They are pronounced as a group. That's a syllable, a
Okay.
complete syllable. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So like I told you, this is O. And so now how should you ideally pronounce this word?
Cadeau.
Cadeau, that's right.
Cadeau.
And cadeau is a word for gift in French. Okay, cadeau is a gift. Try to sound this, please.
Bateau.
Bateau.
That's right. So this is the A sound here combined with ba, and then the remaining part becomes to. Bateau. Does anyone know what a bateau is?
Boat.
That's right. That's right. So that's a boat. Sounding this. See, listen here. I'm also going to talk to you about the sound of an in the second group. An is the nasal sound of It's the nasal sound of Therefore, your first syllable is this, and the second one is this. Can you please try to sound this word?
Monto.
That's right.
Matto.
Monto. Instead of saying manto, it's monto. An is It's the sound of right? So monto. Does anyone know what monto is?
Coat.
Yeah, monto is a coat that you wear. Okay. Then, yeah, try to say
Chapeau.
this, please. So it's the A sound here again. Okay, and then P sounded with the EAU sound. This is sounded as
Chapeau.
chapeau. Chapeau is a hat or a cap. Okay, chapeau is also the name of that particular triangular accent that comes on a few alphabets like this. This cap on it is called a chapeau. What the role of it is will be discussed in another session. Here you have this, okay? All right, so these are a few words that I wanted to discuss with you. Also, EAU individually will be sounded as O, and O is a word for water. Water in French is called eau. Do you remember that? Water is in French is called eau. Okay. Also, I have given you the word, this greeting that we use very often. How do you sound this?
Au revoir.
Goodbye in French, goodbye. The formal manner of saying goodbye in French is called au revoir. Also, the OI sound will be discussed a little later in today's session. So this is the OA sound. Au revoir. Répétez.
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir.
Au revoir.
Also, then AUX also I told you, AUX is also O. For example, if I had to make the plural of this word, generally you put an X in the end. Bureau. This is also bureau, this is also bureau. But this has an AUX in the end, and hence it's the O sound. So bureau as in offices / desks. Now people ask me that then how are we supposed to know whether it is singular or plural, because both of them are sounding just the same, bureau and bureau. That is a matter of grammar. I'll discuss that with you a little later. Right now here you have this cadeau as in a gift, and if I put an X in the end, it becomes again, how will you pronounce it?
Cadeau.
Cadeau.
Cadeau again, right? So there's no difference really. And then after that, what is the meaning?
Gifts.
Gift.
Right. So this is the same thing that I can do to all of these nouns, bateau, monto, chapeau with an X, right? This pronunciation will remain the same. Now, coming to the second group.
So, ma'am, for water also we just have to add an X.
But why would you do that? You never say water it's a liquid.
The waters of the Himalayas.
No. In French, it doesn't work that way. Okay, we don't literally translate anything. Okay. All right. Now coming on to en, on, and then em, and om. These are the sounds of Please repeat. Nasal sound here. Yeah.
Oh,
So when you say right? Par example, here you have the word. Try to say this, please.
argent.
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 Sound, yes. Argent. Argent. It's the word for silver and also the word for money. Okay. Argent. Or also when you say this, what's the sound?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Which is the word for hi, hello, and good morning. Right. Or else, if you want to sound another word, let me think. With en. Oh, sorry. Why did I highlight OU here? It has to be this. EN. हाँ. DIMANCHE. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Dimanche.
Dimanche.
Dimanche. Dimanche is the word for?
Sunday.
Right. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Janvier.
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 Do we have to pronounce the R at the end?
Janvier. E. No.
Okay.
IER is the sound of E.
Okay.
Then you also have EM, for example. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Novembre.
Novembre.
Novembre. Don't sound this as A, it's A. Novembre. 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 Then you also have the sound of this. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Décembre.
Noise in someone's background, so I was not able to hear. Can you please say that again?
Décembre.
Sombre.
Décembre. That's right. Décembre. So you have December. Right. Also, did you notice that in English, your first alphabet for months and days is capital, but in French, it is kept small. Please remember that. Okay. So yeah, this is the on sound. Now, coming on to the next sound of ER, EZ, ET, EI, AI, and E with this accent on it on the right hand side, not on the left, but only on the right hand side. This happens to be the sound of A. Repeat it, A.
A.
For example, when in English you say the word aid, it's the A sound, right? It's that same sound over here. So what will be these 6 sounds here?
B.
Yes, all of them will be sounded as B. Okay, so let's look at some words here. Yeah, try to sound this word, please.
Parler.
So you have the A sound over here, which we discussed before. Then you have A here. It's called parler, to speak. That's a verb, parler. Oh, sorry. Try to sound this word.
Visiter.
Visiter.
Yeah, visiter. That is to visit, another verb. And then let me give you one more. Try to sound this.
Donner.
Donner. ER is A, so this is to give. Okay. Try to sound this word, please.
13.
A sound, and it's the number 13. Please sound this.
16.
Says is the number 16. This is
Saison.
Saison.
Yeah, saison, season. So saison, sorry, saison is the word for season. So you have the on sound in the end also, which I can also include in this category. Right, saison. Fine. So this is the A sound, or else if you have, for example, this accent A, mind you that this is only on the right hand side that you pronounce it as A. For example, this word, try pronouncing it.
École.
Which is the word for school, okay? Can you try pronouncing this word?
Télévision.
Television.
Yeah, television, that's a television, right? And if you have to pronounce this,
Telephone.
Tele. Say that again.
Telephone.
Telephone. That's a telephone. So it's not telephone. It's not telephone in French. It's téléphone. Téléphone. Repeat.
Téléphone.
Téléphone. And also this is not phone. It's phone. Téléphone. Okay. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Santé.
Santé. Santé is a word for health, or when you say cheers during drinks. Santé. It's the on and then a sound. Santé. right? So is this clear, this sound? I saying this?
Cafe.
Cafe.
This is the R sound over here that we discussed before. And we have a cafe, cafe which is coffee or cafe. Okay, so the A sound. Also, I have to tell you the IER sound is sounded as EA. Read that, EA.
EA.
Okay. For example, can you say this word?
Pompier.
Pompeii.
Yes, pompier. What is the meaning of this word? Does anyone know? It's a firefighter. Okay, pompier. Or if I give you janvier, right? Janvier.
Janvier.
Then you have this word here. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Février.
Février.
Ma'am, one
Yes,
question here.
February.
So for
Yeah.
for janvier, is it janvier or janvier?
It's none of these. It's the nasal sound of on. It's not on. It's janvier. Janvier.
Okay.
Janvier. Someone like this. This is not an N complete. It's a nasal sound. Janvier. Janvier.
Okay.
Répétez.
Janvier.
Janvier.
Yes. No, not janvier. I'm not saying janvier. I'm saying janvier.
Janvier.
Yes. So it's the EA sound. EA. Right? Okay, now further, you have the sound of near. GN. GN being the sound of near. Near. Répétez.
Neo.
New.
Neo.
Yeah. Can you please sound this word?
Limonium.
No, this is not A. Listen.
Al.
Listen to me here. When you have this, it's just a. When you have this, it's A.
Okay.
This is A. And this is a. Right? So in the word, in this word that I gave you, there's no accent on it. There's no accent here. This is just a. Now try sounding the word. Yes.
Aluminum.
Alman. It's called Alman. It's the near sound. Near. Alman. It's Germany. It's the name of the country, Germany. In French. Similarly, try saying this.
Polonia.
Polonia.
Polonia. Which is the country? Which country is
Poland.
it? Poland. That's right. Then, yeah, then you have this. Try sounding this.
España.
Yeah, that's right. It's this country, Spain. Sounding this word.
Campania.
So remember that the
Campaign.
EN is the sound of
Campaign.
So it's not
Campaign.
amp, it's compagnie. Compagnie.
Campaign.
Countryside or
So it's like COM. Campania.
oh yeah, yes, it's the sound. Just a second, I'll just close my door. It's quite noisy. All right, so compagnie. You have to remember the AM sound is and you should be able to identify all of the syllables that there are in a word because most of the words are a combination of several syllables which are pronounced particularly in French. So this is compagnie, and so countryside or village, right? Sounding this.
Champagne.
Champagne.
So this is champagne. This is the A sound again. This was also A, right? Only difference between the two words is that this is K, this is sh. Compagne, champagne. Repeat. Compagne,
Campania.
champagne.
Champagne.
So champagne is champagne, is the champagne that we consume. And also, Champagne is the region in France wherein champagne actually originates from. La carte géographique de France. Île. Je pense que ça va aider. Yeah. So this is the map of France, la carte géographique de France, okay? And this is the region, Châlons-en-Champagne, wherein Champagne originates from, okay? And yeah, this is where Paris is, okay? It's just a bit of information. You should know about the country as well, the geography, the culture, etc., because that helps in language learning. And interestingly enough, this was the region actually where I was posted as a teacher last year. Okay. All right, now coming back to this region here, this discussion here, we have compagnon, companion. I think I might have a word. Can you pronounce this?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Okay. Does anyone know what lasagna is?
Is it a dish or food kind of?
Yeah. Lasagna is an Italian dish that looks like this. This is lasagna. Okay. An Italian dish. Voilà. Et oui, maintenant on va progresser. You have the sound of I in French. Ça se prononce comme un. Répétez, un.
Ah.
Un. When in English you say the word angle, please say angle.
Angle.
It's that same sound of that is produced in the beginning of this word, angle, right? This is the word M-A-T-I-N. How do you sound it?
Mata.
You have mata. That's right. Mata. It's the a sound combined with mata. Right. Another word is this.
Lapa.
Lapa. Which is a rabbit. Okay, a rabbit. Or yes. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Andi.
And which is India. I've told you this is not A, this is not E, it's a. It's and. Now, this is a nationality. How do you pronounce this? Do you know?
Indian.
Indian. I-E-N, the sound of I-E-N I'll be discussing just a little later in this lesson. This is the masculine nationality for Indian, pronounced as Andien. Repeat, Andien.
Andien.
Yes. And the feminine nationality for Indian is going to be pronounced as Andien.
Andien.
Andien. So you have A, then this is D, this is N. This I-E-N is Ien. Andien. Andien. Repeat it. Andien.
Andion.
Andien. Andien. Now repeat. And. Andien.
Andion.
Andien. So like if you want to say your nationality, you're gonna say, je suis indien. Répétez, je suis indien.
Je suis indien.
If I had to say my nationality, me being female, I'm gonna say je suis indienne.
Je suis indien.
Right? Je suis indien, je suis indienne. Now also notice that the Z sound here, generally this is je suis, and you do not sound the S over here. But in this case, what will happen? I'm just putting you on mute for a while because there's a lot of noise from the background. Everyone on mute. Yeah, just listen. So you have a je suis indien. Now what's happening is that generally you pronounce this as je suis and you do not sound the S. But one of the rules in French is that if you have a consonant in the ending of a word and then the next word is starting with a vowel, in that case, you do pronounce this. So here it is je suis indien instead of saying je suis indien. So it's this concept is basically called a liaison. Liaison, which is a consonant followed by vowel in the next word. This is the concept.
So this applies to all the consonants?
Yes, generally, only cases you will see are in practical language. You will see are S, Z, X. You will see T, and you will see N. In cases of S, Z, and X, you're supposed to transfer the sound of Z, as in the word zoom. In case of T, you're supposed to transfer the sound of T, the soft T, as in tabla. And in case of N, you're supposed to transfer, obviously, the sound of N. So it's this concept of liaison which makes a change here. Okay. Now, so je suis indien. Répétez, je suis indien.
Je suis indien.
Oui. And je suis indienne.
Je suis indien.
Yes. Okay. Now, after this the sound, this also I told you, liaison I told you also. Okay. Now, you have the sound of EU. The next one, that's Répétez, Yeah. So whether you have this alphabet or if you have EU, both are sounded as not as oo. It's okay. And likewise, this word here, can you please sound this?
Fleur.
Fleur.
Word for flower, right? So this is the sound over here, right? And then you have the sound on the word. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Doctor.
Doctor.
Not doctor, no. Doctor. Doctor.
Doctor.
Oui.
Doctor.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Professor.
Professor.
Yeah, so many students have a habit of mistaking it as professor. It's not. Please do not make that mistake. Professor. Professor. Okay. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Chanteur.
Chanteur. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? What is a chanteur?
Singer.
Yeah.
Singer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? La prononciation?
Dancer.
Dancer.
Dancer. Dancer. That's a dancer, right? Dancer. Dancer. Then, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Director.
Director. Please always remember that this is E, okay? Never mispronounce it as die. It's D. Director. That's the director. Okay, director. And what else? Okay, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Who?
Fur.
Fa.
I never sounded it as who. It's a. Fire. Okay. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Bleu.
Bleu, which means?
Blue.
Blue in its masculine form. And in its feminine form, it is sounded like this. It is still pronounced the same. It's bleu. Right? Bleu in its feminine form.
Yeah. Does fire have a plural form?
Yes, of course. Feu. Okay, feu. It is also used for, the traffic lights. Feu rouge. Feu rouge is the word for traffic lights.
So this is only for red light or for green and yellow also?
Yeah, I mean traffic lights basically. Okay. Yeah. So then you have this word. Quelle est la prononciation?
The.
Et qu'est-ce que c'est?
Nuff.
It's the sound every time. Okay, so many examples I gave you. Please try practicing this also separately. Okay. Now coming on to UI, which is the sound of we. Right? Sounded as we. For example, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Oui.
Then the last S you don't sound because the last consonant is generally not sounded. In most cases, not sounded. Puis. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Sweet.
C'est quoi?
With.
H is kept silent here, as you know it. H, her sound is always silent. It's the number 8. With. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
V.
Which is for yes, right? C'est quoi?
Nuit.
The word for night. And so you can say bonne nuit. Répétez bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Nuit, which means good night.
Good night.
Okay, so that's nuit. Now, coming on to OI, which is the sound of wa. Repeat wa.
Wow.
Wa.
Wa, like this. Okay. So, for example, you have the word qu'est-ce que c'est?
Trois.
Trois.
Number 3. Okay. Voilà, ça c'est quoi?
Toi.
Toi.
Toi, which is another way of saying you. Okay. Then you can have the word is qu'est-ce que c'est?
Moi.
Moi.
Moi, which means me. Okay. Then qu'est-ce que c'est?
Poisson.
Poisson.
Poison. That is the word for poison. Okay, poison. Notice that here the sound that is coming for the S alphabet is the sound of Z. Please remember that, it's very important. On the contrary, if I give you another word, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Poisson.
Poisson. So this word here means fish, and the sound that's coming is double S kind of a sound, as in stressing the S sound. So, can you repeat that? Poison.
Poisson.
And poisson.
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 Yes. Poison, poisson. Poison, poisson. Okay. So this is the wa sound. Thinking of more words. Yeah. Try sounding this.
Roi.
Roi.
Wa. That's the word for a king. Okay. So yeah. Then yeah. Au revoir also you had. Right. Au revoir, which is for formally saying goodbye. Okay. Now the sound of OU is the sound of oo. Repeat oo.
Ooh.
Ou.
Ooh. For example, this word should be?
Boutique.
Booty.
That's a showroom or a shop. Boutique. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Bouquet.
Bouquet.
Okay. E-T I told you is a bouquet. That's a bouquet as in, you know, the flowers that you give someone. Bouquet. And also, it's also, these are actually French origin words used in English. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah, so you have the oo sound. Bonjour, hi, hello, and good morning, right? And OU as in...
Boutique is the same as that boutique which we have in English.
Not always, because that is more of, you know, clothes and tailor-made stuff. But this is ooh, as in, sorry, this is more like a showroom or a shop which can deal in anything, right? So like, you know, in a mall you go and you see showrooms. Those are boutique. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, boutique, bouquet, bonjour. Okay. So yeah, that's the oo sound. Now coming on to the next one, CH is sure. CH sounded as a sure. So you have a, can you try sounding this word?
Chandelier.
Chandelier.
Chandelier. Chandelier. It's a decorative lamp for the ceiling. Okay, chandelier. Also, I'm reminded of another word, which I'll add here. Can you please sound this?
Chauffeur.
Chauffeur.
Which is a driver, chauffeur. So you have CH as sure, AU as O, EU is so this becomes fur, and then R halka sa, you will pronounce it slightly. Chauffeur, chauffeur. It's the word for driver. And chauffeur is also a word that we use in the English language, right? And so it's actually a word of the French origin. Here again, you have chandelier. In English, we tend to pronounce it as chandelier, but it's a French origin word, correctly pronounced as chandelier. Okay. Afterwards, you have CH. Yeah, this word, can you sound it?
Chinois.
Chinois, which is the nationality for Chinese, right? Chinois. So you have the wa sound also, which I can include here. Can you sound the other one? Chinois and?
Chinois.
Chinois is the masculine nationality for Chinese. okay, and chinoise also is Chinese, but female. A sound over here. Here also you have the same thing, chinois, Chinese, male. Right. Now, ch. Also, we can take up one more word, two more words rather.
Sha.
Sha.
The T will be silent. Sha. It's a
Sha.
male cat. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Shat.
Sha.
Female cat. Then you have. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Chien.
Chien. Chien is a male dog. Can you pronounce this?
Chien.
Chien is a female dog. So, yes. Further to this, I'm going to give you the sound of I-E-N. Ien. Répétez ien.
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 So I-E-N is like this. E, ien, nasal. Ien, right? For example, chien. Répétez chien.
Chien.
Chien, that's a dog. That's a male dog, right? Now, if you want to say this word, say, prononciation?
Canadien.
On autre dire?
Canadien. Canadien. Répétez.
Canadien.
Canadien. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Indien.
I didn't say this is
Andien.
in. We did sound,
Andien.
yes. Andien.
Indien.
Yes. The male masculine nationality is Andien. Répétez Andien.
Andien.
Indien.
Right? So it's the ien sound. Okay. And what else? What else? What else? Chien. Yes. Try saying this word.
Bien.
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 Good, fine, or well. Je vais bien when you say ça va bien, right? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Rien.
Rien.
Word
Rien.
for thing. It's the word for nothing. Bien, rien, chien. Okay, all right. Also, there's the sound of en. Répétez en.
Ien.
Ien.
E
Ien.
N, like this. En. Okay. So, for example, this I make it to double N. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Chien.
En, which is a female dog, right? And further, you have this. So, when we get this, it will become what?
Canadien.
Canadien.
Canadian for female nationality. Okay. At the end,
So this
similarly,
2 years marked in yellow, right? Does it indicate we need to pronounce it like an individual word or individual letter?
sorry, didn't get that. Can you repeat that?
In the word Canadian, you marked 2 A's in yellow color, right? So does it
So this
indicate
is
we
the
need to sound it?
because
Okay,
yes, because I told you the earlier sound, the initial sounds that we did e, o, u.
Okay.
It's one of those. So it's the Canadien.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, then you have this word. Can you sound this?
Andien.
Andien.
Andien. Andien male, Andien female. Okay.
Yes.
Répétez. Andien,
Andien.
Andien.
Andien,
Andien.
Andien.
Canadien,
Canadien.
Canadien.
Canadian.
Canadien.
Canadian.
Yeah. One of the best tips while you're learning a language is that when in class you learn something, your mental approach be to try to learn as much as possible right within the class. Because you will notice that generally when we are learning, we tend to sometimes have a distant mental approach that we are listening and we are repeating, but we are not making an effort to also retain it. So that conscious effort of wanting to retain as much as possible within class in terms of pronunciations, in terms of vocabulary, in terms of sentence structures, rules for grammar, everything, try to retain as much as possible within the class. So don't keep that distant approach. So when a word gets repeated, like we've repeated the word Andhya several times today, so you should be able to pronounce it better the next time, right? And that will only happen if you keep that closer approach instead of the distant approach from it while you're learning. Okay, so you have a Canadien, Canadienne, you have Indien, Indienne. Okay. Now, coming on to the sound of TCH, which is sounded as a ch. Repeat.
Ch.
Sure.
This is the word ciao. Repeat.
Sure.
Ciao.
Is the word for goodbye when you want to say informally someone goodbye to someone. Okay. Also, for example, you have the word ketchup.
Ketchup.
Yes, ketchup. It's a ch sound, the same word ketchup as you have in English. Okay. Further, a QUE is the sound of k. QUE is sounded as k, as in this word was
boutique.
showroom or a shop, boutique, right? And another word I'm giving you here is the word qu'est-ce que c'est?
Fantastic.
Did I also tell you in this sound? In this, yes?
Fantastic.
Fantastique. AN is the sound of
Okay.
so it becomes a fantastique.
Fantastic.
Right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Magnifique.
So we also discussed the sound of GN. That was
Near.
near. So this word becomes
Magnifique.
magnifique. Magnifique.
Magnifique.
This is the A
Magnifique.
sound, the magnifique. Yes, magnifique. That's magnificent. So it's the curse, right?
So we don't pronounce the year in magnifique.
Magnifique. Magnifique, because it's getting combined with the E. So instead of saying it as a ni, it's not possible. I mean, when you're speaking in a conversational flow, it becomes magnifique. Magnifique.
Okay.
Then,
Madam,
yeah.
one small doubt. Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. So
Tell
in
me,
the
tell me.
word in the word fantastic, we pronunciated AN as O, right? And could you scroll back? I mean, could you scroll to the top?
Here.
No, not up to that. You marked two A's in a single, in a highlighted, right? Two A's in a single word. It's a bit about the magnificent.
Okay, wait, let me check. GN is the new sound. Here.
Not there. Could you scroll to the bottom, the topmost bottom? It's just 2-3 words above the magnificent, I guess.
Okay. Wait. So I was here and
yeah, this one Canadian. So
yeah.
how we so at what time we together make it to the A and N, and when we are distinguishing
This,
between
okay, yeah, good question. This actually, Rajesh, it comes with practice. Okay, the thing is that the more you listen to words, the more you repeat, and the more you read, you will get used to pronouncing them a certain way. For example, a person who is completely comfortable with pronouncing them correctly, if like, for example, take me, like I even willingly, if I want to mispronounce a word, I can't. Okay, that only happens with practice. So I know that, identifying those syllables is challenging. That's the first step. I mean, when you have to identify that, okay, this AN it should be con, right? But no, here she told us this is ka, and then this is na, and then this is dn, right? So this comes with practice. So it's okay. The more you listen to words and the more you repeat them, you will come to it. Don't worry. Okay. So this is ma. Then this is ni-fique, magnifique, magnificent. Okay. And you have the sound of I-double-L. Now this is more like, this has two sounds in different cases. There are cases when I-double-L is sounded as il, And there are cases when it is sounded as EU. So both the pronunciations are correct, but it's not like you can put any with any word. There are fixed pronunciations with specific words. For example, il, and you have e, ear. Okay, so let me give you some examples with il first, and then I'll give you examples with the il sound, right? For example, you want to say this word. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
We.
Ville. Try saying ville. Right? That's a city. Now, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Meal.
Mille. That's the word for 1,000. Right? But there are words wherein this is pronounced as ear. Okay, ear. For example, say fille. That is the French word for girl or daughter, fille. Now you can see that here it's just the difference of V, M, and F, and yet there's a complete difference of the sound. Why? There's no fixed reason to it. Language doesn't always have logic to it, but you just have to make your terms with certain facts that, okay, it's the way it is pronounced. So veal, meal, but this is fille. And likewise, this should be sounded as
Family.
Okay, slightly pronounced as the famille, right? So what happens is, now students ask me, well, how are we supposed to remember? There will be so many words in French which have such a sound. Well, it comes again with practice. The more you come across words, every time you come across a new word which has the ILL sound, you have to remember its sound that way, that particular way. It's not that difficult, don't worry. If I could do it, anyone can. Now, you have UN. UN sound is Répétez, And the UNE sound, which is called une.
Yun.
When, for example, you say uncle in English, you say uncle, you get the sound of in the beginning, right? You do?
Yes.
So the sound. Okay, so here I'm giving you an example with it. The example shall be okay, grand. Please repeat. Brown.
Yeah.
That's the masculine form for the color brown. Okay, the other one is une. Une. Okay, une. So you have the feminine form of this color, brune. Right, so that's the feminine form of this color. And finally, we are coming on to the last group, that is TION, SION, XION. These are sounded as sion and as zion. Sion, zion. Répétez, sion. Zion. What should be this word?
Attention.
So, you also have another sound. Don't ignore that.
Attention.
Yeah, attention. So you have the TION, SION, and XION, and you have the words attention. Attention is the word for attention or for warning. Okay, and then have the word prononciation. Prononciation. Répétez.
Pronunciation.
It's the word for pronunciation, so prononciation. Okay. Salutation.
Salutation.
Greeting. Okay, salutation is a greeting. And yes, what was this word?
Television.
Yeah, it was television. Television, right? Television. Right, fine. So you have the television, right? So yeah, these are the groups of alphabets. I'll be adding this to your folder. You'll be getting this via email. So these are the sounds based on which most of the French pronunciations are done. But I'm saying most, I'm not saying all, because please mind you that language learning has always some exceptions attached to it. Okay, so obviously there'll be exceptions. We'll be discussing them as well. But for the moment, this is what you basically come to terms with. Okay, so wait a minute, I'll just do one thing. Cours 4. This was for Muskan and for Rajesh. All right. Right. Fine. So these are the sounds. And also there is a concept of accents, which we will be discussing in another lesson, not right now. Okay. But yeah, in this, if you have any questions, please ask me. The lesson is also being recorded, so you will receive it on the same link on Skype itself just after the call ends. You can download it from there. So the thing is that I need you to revise and go through this entire recording and listen to me and repeat when you do your self-study. It's not sufficient to just copy them down on your notebook and not pay attention to all the pronunciations by speaking them loud. You have to speak them out loud while you're making your notes and while you're going through the recording. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, please ask me.
So I have one question. We
Yes.
have E with the forward, I mean that accent on the top, and E with
Yes.
the backward accent.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
forward one, the forward one is like the aid, AID in English.
Yes.
So A.
Right.
How about the backward one?
The other one is pronounced as "eh," but like I said, accents I'll discuss in another session. Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
one more question. So
Yes.
PUIS, how do we pronounce that?
Puis. Puis.
So with when we have SUIS, we say SWE, like the
Right.
sound of V.
Yes.
So we don't have that V when we say PUIS.
See, there is the UI sound. It's the we sound. Puis.
V. Okay.
It's just the same. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Now, so yeah. So that will be it for today. Okay. I will be sending you this in just a while. Okay. You'll receive it on your email. And please make sure you do download the recording at your own end, because if you don't, it remains here for 30 days. After 30 days, you won't be able to retrieve it. Okay. So,
Madam, I have one issue with actually downloading. I think it's issue from my side only. Don't know whether it
yes.
is for
In
internet
that case, you
quality or
should reinstall your Skype. You should
okay.
reinstall Skype on your system. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Ma'am, for that Google Drive, so this is my first class. So can you share
So
that
that
drive
is
link again?
for me to take care of. Don't worry. You'll get that. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I'll be ending right now. I have another class to start. Okay. So I'll see you then. Okay. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Okay.
Merci.
Au revoir.
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir. Bonne journée.